What if the child you starved today becomes the woman you run to tomorrow? What if the girl thrown away like trash rises to become billionaire? This is not just a story. This is a testimony of pain, betrayal, escape, survival, and destiny. In a forgotten village where love had no voice and truth was buried under bruises, a young girl named Ruth was treated like a curse in her own father's house. Beaten, starved, silenced. Her only crime was being born. Don't just scroll. Watch till the end. This story will remind you that no matter where you come from, you can still rise. Ruth was only 15, but she had already seen enough pain for a lifetime. Since the day her mother died, everything about her life had changed. Her father, once a loving man, changed after he married a woman who hated the very sight of her. Her name was Adana, and she came into their home with a smile that fooled everyone except Ruth. That smile disappeared the moment her father walked out the door for work each day. A misplaced cup, an undone chore, or even just silence was enough to earn Ruth a slap, a beating, or a day without food. Sometimes she would go 3 days on nothing but soaked gari and water. Her father saw the bruises, but he never asked questions. In fact, he seemed to forget she even existed. "I know, born you to come and bring me shame," Adana would shout, throwing a bucket at her. "Call her names like useless girl, just like your late mother. All of you are the same." Ruth would curl into herself and cry, whispering prayers into the night sky, asking her mother if she could hear to protect her from the world. But nothing changed until one morning something happened. Ruth woke up before dawn. She had hidden the small money she had managed to save over months. Money she got from picking, cleaning people's houses, washing neighbors' clothes in secret, and even selling her school books. She packed her tattered backpack, a skirt, one wrapper, and a worn photo of her mother. She stood in front of the mirror, looked in her own eyes and whispered, "I'm done. I'm leaving, I'll never come back here again." She sneaked out before the roosters crowed. The road to the bus stop was long and lonely. With just enough of the fare, Ruth boarded a rickety bus bound for Abuja, Africa's city of dreams. She didn't know what she would find or if she would even survive, but anything was better than home. When she arrived, the noise of Abuja slapped her like a wave. Horns blared, people shouted, traders hawked their goods with fiery energy. She wandered aimlessly, clutching her bag and pressing her belly as hunger gnawed at her insides. The last thing she had eaten was a cup of soaked gari 2 days ago. By noon, she found herself at the bustling Garki market. She sat beneath a torn umbrella stand, eyes heavy, body weak. Her head dropped forward. She felt like giving up. "In any you okay?" Soft voice asked. Ruth opened her eyes to see an old woman in faded ankara holding a tray of oranges. Her eyes were kind and she reached in her basket and handed Ruth a wrapped piece of moi and a sachet of water. Tears rolled down Ruth's cheeks as she collected it. "What is your name?" the woman asked gently. "Ruth." And just like that, Ruth's new life began. The old woman's name was Mama Chioma. She was a retired school teacher who ran a small orphanage in Cuge. It wasn't big or fancy, but it was home to 22 children, all rescued from one horror or another. Mama Chioma listened to Ruth's story with patience and sadness, then said simply, "You will stay with me." Ruth didn't know how to thank her. She washed plates, fetched water, helped with the younger children, and followed Mama Chioma to the market. She didn't complain, not even once. Every morning, she swept the compound before the sun came up and read books to the younger children in the evening. She even started learning to read again. Then one day, Mama Chioma introduced her to a family who needed a house cleaner twice a week. The pay was small, but enough to buy sanitary pads, small clothes, and even save a little. The man's name was Chief Victor. Chief Victor wasn't just rich. He was a billionaire and the CEO of a powerful tech company, Victorious Global. Yet he never forgot his roots. He too was once a boy in Mama Chioma's orphanage. The first time he saw Ruth scrubbing the floor in his mansion, he thought she looked familiar. She was quiet, polite, and hardworking. She never looked him in the eye, but always smiled. After weeks, he asked her, "What's your story? Ruth froze. No one had ever asked her that before, but something in his tone made her trust him. And so she told him everything. Her stepmother, her father's silence, her escape, her hunger, her dreams. Victor sat quietly, then nodded slowly. "You're strong," he said. "You deserve better." That day he called Mama Chioma. A week later, Ruth was enrolled in a private school. Victor paid for everything. Books, shoes, uniforms, even sanitary towels. He visited the orphanage every month. But now he always spent time with Ruth. He watched her grow from frightened girl to a confident young woman. She excelled in her studies, especially in computers and coding. By 25, Ruth graduated top of her class from the University of Abuja. She joined a tech as a junior developer. Within 2 years, she became head of operations in the company's non-profit tech wing, building apps that helped women in rural areas access healthcare and education. And as her career rose, so did something else. Love. Victor was 14 years older, but he loved her deeply. He respected her, cheered for her, and protected her. One evening, as the sun set over the Abuja skyline, he knelt before her on the rooftop of a tech towers. "Ruth, you changed my life more than any code or company. Will you marry me?" She cried, nodded, and whispered, "Yes." The wedding was held at a quiet beach resort. Mama Chioma walked her down the aisle. The orphanage children danced with joy. Ruth wore a white dress sewn with lace from ABA. Her hair woven in traditional Nigerian braids, her smile brighter than the stars. A month after the wedding, there was a knock at their gate. A visitor came to the house. It was Ruth's father. He was older now, worn out by regrets. His eyes filled with tears when he saw her. "My daughter," he wept. "I'm sorry. I should have protected you." Ruth listened quietly. "And Adana," she asked. "She's gone. I divorced her. She was evil. I see that now. Forgive me." Ruth sighed. She looked at her husband, then at Mama Chioma. "I forgave you long ago," she said softly. Ruth and Victor later built a bigger orphanage for Mama Chioma and expanded it across Nigeria. They also started a foundation to rescue abused children and provide tech education to the poor. Ruth became a symbol of strength, compassion, and resilience. She never let her pain define her. Instead, she used it to light the way for others. They say the past can break you or build you. But for Ruth, it did both. But instead of letting the scars control her story, she used them as stepping stones. From the dusty paths of Ayungu to the boardrooms of Abuja, from a hungry girl in rags to a CEO in pearls, Ruth's journey proved that the strongest people often rise from the most broken places. Moral lesson of this story: even when the world turns its back on you, never stop believing in yourself. Your past does not define your future. Help may come from the most unexpected places. And sometimes the pain that breaks you is the fire that builds your strength. If you ever feel like the world has forgotten you, remember Ruth. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this story if it touched your heart. And never forget, no matter where you start, where you come from, you can become more than anyone ever imagined. Hey, my beautiful family, thank you so much for watching. Your support truly means the world to me. If you enjoy this story, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing story. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's grow this community together. I appreciate you and I am so grateful to have you here.